Hola, ¿cómo están todos? Hello, everybody. How are you guys all doing today? Super excited to be bringing you guys the news of the day, of the week, of the century. My name is Josh, program director here at Avance Latino, and I got Carlos with me. He's creative director here for Avance Latino. Excited to be with you guys all. Muy emocionados de estar con ustedes hoy en esta tarde. No sé dónde se encuentran en sus casas, en trabajo, no sé quiénes trabajan tan tarde así, pero saludos a todos y hoy tenemos unas noticias bien importantes para todos ustedes. Super
Good
important.
afternoon, good night. You can hear me, Josh?
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you for joining. If you're watching now, later, wherever you're watching, whatever time. I know this is going to come at a very beneficial time. It's very important you know these things because they could affect your life. So, bien importante. Antes de comenzar, por favor, comparte con sus amigos. Please share with your friends, comment. Be sure to ask any questions. We'll be sure to answer as much as we can. But without further ado, I want to jump into the first topic. It's probably the most important thing that, one of the most important things that people have been waiting to see be resolved. Algo que mucha gente ha esperado por mucho tiempo is the infrastructure bill. 1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Que this is the bill that President Joe Biden signed on Monday into law. But here's the interesting part: it's being presented as a 1.2 trillion bill, but it's actually less than that. It's actually only half of that because
Oh,
they're
really?
using five. Yeah, because they're using 550 billion is in new spending. So it's actually a 550 billion bill, and the rest is from previous approved money from other bills that were passed, stuff that
Oh,
was already in the budget, stuff that
COVID,
COVID,
unemployment, all that stuff, right?
exactly all of that. So
Yeah.
it's not really a 1.2 trillion. It's more a 550 billion, which is good for the economy. Less money printed is always better because this started off as a what, like a 3.5 trillion, I think.
I I think at one point they wanted to make it a 5 trillion, and then they started lowering it from there. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is too much. Like, slow down. Slow down.
It's crazy.
Let's see what makes sense, because they also want to have, this is the infrastructure, then they have the human infrastructure. So it's like
Yeah.
separate from this. There's like two big bills that we're trying to pass. It's like, now they what trying to do is cut half. So one on one and one on the other, which is better.
Yeah, I saw that, the social bill or the human something bill. I seen that. Yeah.
Infrastructure. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think
Eso
they
es
want
bien
to get that one passed before Thanksgiving.
Mhm. So we'll see. Vamos a ver qué, pero ya firmó. Ahí está la foto del presidente que firmó. um, ya más de $1 trillón, pero la mitad ya era dinero que fue aprobado. Pero I want to break it down to see exactly what money is being spent and how they're going to pay for it. And here's an interesting fact. The U.S. ranks 13 in the world in infrastructure quality. That means China's beating us, India's beating us, France is beating us, Germany is beating us, Japan is beating us, Dubai
What
is
is our
beating us.
ranking?
13th in the world.
Jeez,
And we have the
13.
greatest economy. I would have assumed we would have been in the top five. We're not even in the top 10.
I feel
Not
like
even in the top 10.
I noticed that when I'm driving, like the other day when we were going to the convention center because you went to the car show, it's like we all those potholes we were hitting, and we
Oh,
were
I
listening
think
to
your voice
guys
cut
talk
off.
about.
I
My
don't know if
voice
it's
cut off.
my own audio.
Hello.
Let me double check if we can hear ourselves on Facebook because I can't hear Junior. Okay, now I can. Wait, continue talking?
Yes, test.
Okay, there you go. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the road is terrible. The 5 freeway, if you guys here at local LA, it's one of the worst. This picture kind of shows, an example of how the freeways are. And here's the crazy thing. This is great that they're going to pass, to improve the quality of the U.S. infrastructure because it's sad that we fall behind
Yeah.
12 other countries and we're first in the economics. Look at that. California alone has a bigger economy than France, India, Italy, and Brazil. California,
So
and we
that
have
makes
one of
it
the
what, the fifth?
worst.
One, two, three, four,
Hmm.
five. Yeah, the fifth largest economy in the world. That's pretty nuts.
So
That's
what does
pretty
this tell you?
nuts.
What does this tell you? That it doesn't matter how much money they pass. It's all about the management. We have so much
I
money in
I think we need
California
to
that.
get the people in Congress to go through our wealth academy.
Yup, they
Learn
gotta go
about
to the Wealth
budgeting.
Academy. Learn about
Learn
budgeting.
about
Learn about how to spend.
limit your spending. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, how is it that we have one of the best economies in the world, California? And look at this. Look at the roads that we have. Look at the schools that we have. Terrible schools, public schools. It's just embarrassing. It's just sad. And this is not a Republican or Democrat debate. It's a human debate. It's a social issue. It's like, how is this, happening?
It's an
right?
American or
It's an
Californian
American,
debate.
Californian debate. Yeah, and it's sad. Hopefully, this money falls into the right places, into the right organizations. Hopefully organizations like Avance Latino, where we can use this funding to really make an impact into the community. But let's break it down. So, 110 billion is going to fund new roads and bridges. 73 billion is to move from fossil fuels, so basically from gas, to clean energy and upgrade power infrastructure. 66 billion is going to address basically it's going to modernize the rail or the trains. 66 billion. These are billions of dollars. It's crazy. 65 billion for internet. So basically to help people have better access to internet and have reliable high-speed internet. I mean, hopefully, because our internet sucks sometimes. I don't know, man. Supposedly they promise us that we have like 500 something, but it's like it feels like it's 5.
Even Verizon sometimes feels like, what the heck? I'm paying for 5G and it feels like I have 1G.
Oh yeah, I know. It's supposed to be 5G, but I don't even think that he really exists yet.
Yeah.
Maybe this will help us get to real 5G. But 55 billion to replace lead pipes and service lines. Damn. Anyone that working in plumbing? These are jobs that are being created right here. 50 billion for weatherproofing infrastructure and creating basically for climate change and cyber attacks. 39 billion for new investment to modernize public transit and to help people with disabilities and elderly. 25 billion for airports. They better do something about LAX, man. We've gone a couple times this year and it's always terrible experience.
It's because
Terrible.
I feel we're one of the biggest airports probably in the U.S., maybe one of the main ones, and it feels like it's just one road to go in and road to go out. Don't they say that we're gonna have the Olympics or what event that we're gonna have that they're trying to make everything more modern? I think they even
I
have
think the
signs at the
Olympics.
airport that they're gonna do. I think a shuttle. I think that's how I was in Florida when I went there
Mm-hmm.
once, where you land in one area, but you get on a shuttle and they pick you up in a different area. I feel like that would help congestion so much. I
That's
think as soon as we
exactly
got
what
off
they're
the
gonna do.
freeway, we took like an hour and a half just to get to where our parents were. It was insane. It's just too
Ridiculous,
much
yeah.
time wasting.
It's crazy. Yeah, no. It's right there. They're gonna do that. They're gonna want to do a shutout because I think someone talked about it that was working on that exactly. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, very interesting. But so that's for airports. But then there's gonna be 21 billion to pollution, abandoned mines, oil and gas
By any
wells.
chance, do you know if they have a ETA of when supposedly this all would be accomplished by?
I mean, they say 5 to 8 years, but I mean, I don't know. The government tends it's to be infamous for very slow progress. So I don't know. And the rest just goes to other stuff. One thing that is very interesting is 15 billion for electric vehicles, buses, and trucks. So like police cars. A lot of stuff is gonna become electric vehicles. So that's gonna help, definitely for fossil fuels and all that. But it's gonna be interesting to see, all these cops get their electric vehicles and all that, and buses, and
Are they
then
gonna have a
11.
Prius or a Tesla? That's
Hopefully,
what
they
I'm
get that
curious.
Tesla. Yeah, whoever gets that contract is gonna make so much money. You put money
Maybe
into their
Ford.
stock.
You
It's
know
gonna be
Ford,
Ford. It's gonna be. It has to be. Oh, Tesla's
the
American too.
Mach-E.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, the Ford Mach-E. That's a police car. That's pretty cool. But
Or
whoever
maybe,
gets it,
yeah, yeah,
I was gonna say, that's a stock to invest into.
yep,
They're gonna have
yep.
billions of dollars of access from the government, and
If I
11
had a
billion
bet,
is
Ford. That's who I
Ford.
would have bet Ford. They've been killing
Ford.
it. The Bronco's really nice. The Mach-E's really good. Ford Lightning truck is really good. I feel like they're gonna get it.
Yeah, most likely it's gonna be Ford. I mean, they already do everything. They already have everything basically, so it's probably gonna be Ford. Now, how do they plan to pay for this? 250 billion is coming out of COVID relief funds. So there's a lot of money that did not spend, which is crazy to me. 250 billion dollars that was not spent. So I mean, how much money was badly spent? If there's 250 left over, it's crazy. I'm not saying that it was badly spent, but I'm just I'm thinking about that. If you had that much money left over, like, crazy. Um, and including 50 billion from unemployment. And here's something that's gonna affect you crypto investors. They're gonna gain, supposedly, according to this, 30 billion from strengthening tax reporting requirements and enforcement for cryptocurrency. So, I mean, it was coming. I don't think that was something that people are gonna get shocked. It's an investment. You get taxed for any investment. So just
They're
how
already,
they're gonna do it, how much they're
yeah,
gonna tax, that will be interesting. But I mean, cryptocurrency is an investment. Stock
yeah.
market's an investment. Anything that's an asset is, they're gonna get taxed.
The only thing when I was reading into this, because I'm invested into crypto, is they're gonna have a with the beauty of crypto, and also the confusing part of crypto is you don't know where and who is that crypto exchange coming from. That's the beauty of the blockchain, is like you don't really know. It's just a wallet ID. So that's the one thing that people are already talking about. I think there's a senator or congressman from Wyoming. She's a girl. She's like really into Bitcoin and all that, and she's trying to like break down how can we do that, because just slapping something as a security, like, yeah, if you do like Coinbase, crypto.com, that's going to be easy. But what about like these other topics that we're going to talk about, play to earn? Imagine how does that going to work out, or other transactions, NFTs and all this stuff. People there have like uh, different names, different identities. Like I don't know if you've seen it, like little monkeys. Like, how are you gonna
Mm-hmm.
that person? They have no name. It's just so that's gonna be interesting how they're gonna go about that, and they're already trying to figure it out, because I think this doesn't go in effect like today. The crypto thing, I think it's by 2025. So they still have some time to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how exactly are we gonna implement these taxes with crypto? So it's not like if you're into crypto, like, oh my god, it's like, hey, it's gonna come, like you said,
Yeah.
but they're still gonna figure it out along the way.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they do it and how much they would, charge people. What would be like the interest rate, the rate that they would charge? Would it be the same as stock market? Is it gonna be labeled
If you're
as
trading it,
security or whatever?
yeah, I feel like if you're trading it like on Coinbase, Crypto.com, all these places, Kraken, yeah, it's basic stock trading. But when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to like the other stuff of crypto, is like, wait, how are you gonna do that? Because it's just kind of like what I was showing you before the show, like with his browser Brave. How is that gonna work out? Who's gonna tax who? So there's different things that they're gonna figure out along the way.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be super interesting to see what's gonna happen. But I mean, it's nothing to be scared of or nothing to be alarmed of. It's gonna happen. It's normal.
It's
And
a new
nothing to be
asset.
scared of. It's inevitable. I think that's what you said, right? You cut
Hmm.
off for a second. But next thing I was gonna talk about is how people have been quitting their jobs, and this is a little like stat. A lot of 40% of the people that have been quitting their jobs. A lot of people have been quitting their jobs. 40% is because they feel burnt out. 28% is because they left companies without another job lined up. They just left just cause. And then 37 is because they were looking to get better pay. And it looks like the people that are getting affected the most is food service and healthcare.
Mm.
Food service for sure. I mean, we've seen it. You can't even eat inside a McDonald's right now. Any
Yeah.
McDonald's I've been into.
And I'm pretty sure you've seen those signs where I think it was one trending with Dunkin' Donuts, or I don't know. They were saying, if you are hating the service, don't complain. Submit a resume or submit a job application. Is like, I know the service sucks. Is like, we need help. Please help us.
That's crazy, man. It's just yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, that's most people in the food industry have just been quitting, which is gonna progress AI and people
Yeah.
losing jobs because of that. So it's gonna be interesting to see what jobs are replaced. And something interesting is that the government basically has said that they're not gonna start raising interest rates until one of the key things is that the labor market. So basically, that the people are working back before, like how it was before the pandemic. So we're not there yet, but we're 1.4 million larger the labor force than at the beginning of 2021. So that's a good number, but we're still not near where we were before the pandemic. There's still a lot of people that are on unemployment, that are not working, don't want to work. They save so much money, but it's gonna hit people because not working for 2 years, maybe you saved a lot of money, you didn't spend as much, but eventually, you're gonna accrue expenses, and student loans are gonna start being.
In
You have to
January.
make payments in January, February, but definitely next year, early next year,
January.
January.
I got
So,
that email.
oh, you got the email. There
Yeah,
you go.
I know.
So there you go. So people are gonna start have to make
Yeah,
payments, rent, mortgages. So it's gonna be like, oh, I kind of have to go back to work. So
yeah.
it's gonna go back to normal.
One thing that I was listening in a podcast
Let's see.
is
And
this
then, as
guy
you guys can see, this chart is the orange one. Oh, sorry, I didn't even hear you. You cut off.
is it cutting off?
So the orange chart, it shows how much people quit. The blue one is how much people are hired. So right there in April 2020, when the pandemic started, the orange is showing a bunch of people quit or were fired. And then the blue one, right after people were fired, it started going down. How much people were being fired or quitting? People are starting to get hired, and then all the way down to the right, you see that it's almost at the same. So it's going back to normal, but we're still not there yet. That big jump of people that quit, that's a big jump right there. So let's talk about Turkey. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up. I don't think we're gonna have a Avance Latino news next Thursday. Maybe we'll try to fit it in before then, because it's Thanksgiving, right? It's Thanksgiving. It's usually on Thursdays. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
always on Thursdays.
According to the American Farm Bureau Federation, it says that the average cost of a Thanksgiving dinner this year is $53.31. I don't know how much we spent. I feel like that's a little low in general. I think people just
Well,
go
maybe
all out.
is it per person? That's the
No,
part
no,
that I'm
no.
curious.
It's like $6 per person on the
Mm.
average family size. But here's a stat. Last year it went down, but if you look at that graph, it jumped this year. I mean, what? Why? It's most likely because of inflation and because look at this. Turkey went up in price by 24%.
Turkeys should
Bread
go on strike.
15%. I know. And then 11% is like, the add-ons and everything. So everything went up a lot from last year.
Maybe turkeys are taking a lesson from us and they don't want to work this year.
They don't want to work. Yeah. They're like, we're not going to go in the oven. We don't want to.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see.
You can hear me now, good, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. One thing that I was gonna add on the previous job, like I was listening to a podcast, and this guy hires a lot of people for his company, and just like a tip, when he goes through resumes, he was checking who has quit their job and not returned back since 2019. If they see that they haven't had a job and they're just applying for this one, he kind of throws it to the side as a maybe not. And those who he sees on his resume that yeah, of course they got affected. Maybe they stopped working for 4 months, 5 months, whatever it was, but they continued working again. They look at that resume at a higher than they do of someone who hasn't been working and they're still in employment applying for a job. So it's kind of like a tip out there. Hey, if you want to get that job, they're also looking at that because I guess employers want to see is this person hardworking and willing to go, even when it's tough, to go out there and work.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that haven't worked this
Mhm.
whole out of a lot of people that wasn't their choice, but a lot of people they just simply didn't want to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to the next one, Crypto.com Arena. That just sounds so weird. Should have just been the
Staples
Crypto
Center.
Arena. The
Staples
Staples Center,
Center.
guys. What's going on there, Junior?
Well, this is, I believe they sold the stadium. Let me see. Well, not the stadium. They sold the rights to the stadium for $700 million. That's pretty insane. I think this is the biggest deal that it was ever done. There's already another crypto company that's called FTX. I mentioned it too in a previous news, and they bought the Miami Heat. But this is the biggest. I believe theirs was in the single digit millions. So this is 700 millions. This is insane. And they're already in UFC, I believe. They're already in F1. They're already in a lot of sports and soccer in the sense of like, I think they're in the Serie A in Italy. So it's just another big example that crypto is here to stay, and there's actually a lot of people making money because there's no other company out there that's buying rights to stadiums left and right. And it's but the thing is the name is just I don't know why they put .com. Like imagine if I don't know, let's say In and Out bought the stadium rights and it was like In and Out.com Arena. Like why .com? That's the part that I don't understand. Their logo's already there. They don't have to put the .com. It's kind of cheesy in my sense, but I
People are gonna
feel
call it the Crypto Arena, anyways. I think.
yeah, that's what I already hear. And I was listening to the radio. They're already calling it the Crypto Arena, and also on Twitter they call it the Crypto Arena. Which is it's a
Just makes
massive
more
deal,
sense.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this stadium or this arena is probably the biggest in the world when you think about it.
And
Artists
I
perform here,
saw that
Grammys. Uh huh.
it's gonna be 700 million for the next 20 years. So I'm just doing quick math here. So that's 35 million a year. That's they're paying 90, almost $100,000 a day just to have their name for the next 20 years. $100,000 a day. Check,
That's insane.
check, check, check. 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000 every single day for the next 20 years.
You could invest in this company, crypto.com, and their stock has been doing really good actually.
I'm sure it exploded after this was
Before
announced.
this, I guess there were already rumors, and it wasn't. They were just saying they're gonna buy rights to some stadium, and they didn't know what. And this is huge when it came out.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what other arenas are taking over. I mean, the SoFi is another one that started off as student loans, and now they're heavily involved with cryptocurrency as well. So
They were
they're
saying that
taking
the
over the world.
next, they said the next biggest one is the Madison Square Garden in New York. That's the
Hmm.
only one that hasn't been changed. I think in over more than 50 years is the only arena that has never allowed anyone to take the name away from it. Is like they want to keep it always the Madison Square Arena. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe someone else offers them 2 billion instead of 700 million. I don't know. Maybe they'll take it. They'll take it.
They offer money that you just don't turn down, huh?
Can't resist. Yeah,
You
yeah.
just can't resist to turn down. And I know, in regards to the next thing, boom. What is that? That is Nike Land. That's
Yeah.
Nike plans to partner. I don't think plans. I think they already did partner with Roblox to make this thing called Nike Land. But it's just
A
more
metaverse.
metaverse being introduced, partnerships being done, and Nike's not a small brand. Roblox either. Roblox is one of the first companies that hosted a virtual concert with Travis Scott. I believe it was Roblox,
Oh,
right?
that was
Or
them.
Minecraft.
That was Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft.
Minecraft. Okay, okay,
And
Minecraft.
I
But
recently
still,
watched it because I don't know if have you seen it, the concert that Travis Scott did. Did you watch the Travis Scott concert
your
or no?
voice keeps cutting off. My bad. It's just I don't know when
Really?
you stop talking. But let's see. I don't know if you want to start talk about what you were gonna share about the what's going
Sure,
on over there in the Philippines.
sure. You can you hear me or you could hear
It
it on
just
the you could hear it on the phone, right? On the live stream?
let me
I
see.
believe so. Yeah, I hear it. Okay, so let me
Yeah.
share mine. So in this website, CoinDesk, what's really interesting is with everything we're talking about with the metaverse and everything, there's a community of people in the Philippines who during COVID they were having a hard time because nobody was working and they were in lockdown just like us. And people were playing this game and they realized, oh shoot, uh, I can actually make money off of this. And not only were they able to make money off of this, but according to this website here, hopefully you guys can see it, is they were roughly earning $300 to $400 a month playing this game, and it's like a mobile game. A typical mobile game is nothing crazy or anything complicated. It's just a typical mobile game, and this is what crypto blockchain offers. That instead of you just playing this game for fun, you can actually make money off of it while you're playing, whether you're good or bad. And these people are making $300 to $400 a month. And for us, it might not seem a lot, but for them, it's a lot. And let me show you a couple of things that they were able to do. So right here, you can see some of them were able to buy phones. They never had phones in there, and they bought phones. The latest and greatest Googles. Those are very popular. Oh, I think this is Huawei. They were to buy bikes. That might seem like a little, right? But then there are some people, and there's this guy. I don't know how to say his name, but he was able to play this game, and he bought land. So that's very interesting that he didn't buy a phone. He actually was financially smart. He's like, hey, I'm gonna use this money and buy land. I've never in a million years or my whole 30 years of being bored, never would I have thought just playing games would I be able to generate $300 a month. I used to donate my plasma and generate probably $250 when I was in college. And if someone would have told me back then, hey, instead of doing that, you just play this game and you could earn up to $300. So for me, that was a very interesting story that I read this week. And well, yeah, that one with crypto.com is a really interesting one. And I wanted to bring something up, Josh. I think I sent this to you. But if you had a guess, who was a
Mm.
better investor according to Fidelity? A woman investor or a man investor? Who was a better investor?
When this last year?
Just in general, they said like through women or men, who did better in investing in general? Not this year, but just overall. I think I don't know how long this survey was, but they just said in general. Who's if you had to take a guess, a girl or a man?
Probably a girl.
Yep, a girl won, and this is through Fidelity. They did a survey through the people that use Fidelity, so that's a huge amount. I think they're one of the biggest
Mm-hmm.
brokerage in the U.S. And what this study found out, I think this website, is the reason why. Like everyone's like, but why? That doesn't make any sense. And once you read this article, it makes sense. It says men tend to be more risk takers and they
Mm.
do more trades. They go for that risky Dogecoin, that Shibu, or whichever one of those risky assets, and they invest more. But the reason why,
Girls don't
oh,
do that.
overall, yeah, girls, they said girls are more, they engage less in trading, which that means that they just invest a couple of times a month, which that strategy that I keep saying, dollar cost average. They just invest, they make it automatic. They say it's boring in this survey. They say girls make it boring, but they would outdo the men. So that was studies have shown here. Studies have shown that men tend to be more risk takers when it comes to investing, and it would actually hurt them. Women tend to generate better returns because they don't trade as often and tend to hang on there. Hang in there. So basically, is what I keep saying is like the best investing advice is dollar cost average. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't go like, I'm gonna put all my investments into this one stock. It's so important. Be like a girl. Think like a girl. Especially after seeing the survey is, hey, I'm gonna invest in this company, whether it goes up, whether it goes down. I believe in it. I'm just gonna dollar cost average. And surveys time and time again show that if you just do this, dollar cost average or buy and hold, you will be fine. Especially if you're around our age, between 20s, early 20s to late 20s, you have a long life to live. So if you look at any stock market, at Apple, your Googles, and you say, oh my God, look what it's done in this week. And it's up and down, up and down. But then you watch it in a year, and then 5 years, 10 years, you're like, oh, it's actually always consistently going up. So that's my tip is I like finding these articles because it just shows the importance of, hey, don't stress yourself out with investing. Make it boring, make it simple, just automate it, and you will have a better time investing. That's pretty much it for what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, and you don't want to, make it like a game, because then that's where you could win big, but you could also lose big too, which we've
Yep.
seen a lot of people. They've been affected by that, because then they don't want to invest any ever again in their life, because they feel, I'm gonna lose all my money. So it's important, like you said, to dollar cost average. And if you have money left over, as long as you're saving, investing, have an emergency fund, you have your everything else set up, and you have like 10% in your portfolio, you just want to put into random, like stuff that you're like, okay, this is more riskier. Do that, but don't put 90% risky and 10%, safe.
In Shiba
Yeah,
or
yeah,
in
you gotta be
Doge.
careful,
Yeah.
because Elon
Or
Musk's tweet
yeah.
can literally ruin your whole portfolio.
Yeah. So important. Or play to earn games and those $300. Hey, throw it in the
Crazy,
stock market every month.
crazy, crazy. And last thing I was gonna share with you guys is two things. The booster shots, if you're interested in getting a COVID booster shot, you can get it if you're 18 or older. There's no restrictions anymore. Anyone can get it. Pfizer, Moderna. Um, I think later on the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, but for now, you. Oh no, actually yes, the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, but you can get your booster 6 months after your second dose of Pfizer, Moderna, and then after 2 months you can get your Johnson and Johnson. That's what I meant to say. And then if you're a small business, or if you know a small business, share this with this information. Take a screenshot, because they can get a grant of up to $40,000 And there's certain requirements. You know, there has to be a brick and mortar. It has to be in incorporated Los Angeles County. Their gross revenue must be less than $1 million, and they have rent that's been past due since March of last year, and a couple of other things. But it's important that you share this with small business owners that you know, because this is $40,000. This could be life changing. This can help them get out of bankruptcy. This can help them, you know, continue going on with their
So
business. So
much.
it's a lot of money, 40,000, and it's a grant. It's not a loan, so they don't have to pay this money back. So this is literally free money that a small business can get. So important you share that information with them. And that's it. I was gonna share on my end. I don't know if you have anything else, Junior.
Oh
Okay,
well,
perfect.
I also had like an well, we'll leave it to another story next time.
Okay.
Next
Sounds good.
time.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys all for watching. We appreciate you guys' support and just any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything. Just let us know in the chat, in the comment section, and I'll put some information, maybe some of the articles in the comment
Yep.
section. But we'll see you guys soon. Have a great day and take care, everyone.